60 media days. Obviously, you're very confident going into this season. Why? What's the source? Why are you so much more confident this year?
I feel like just in my second year under Coach Fisher's offense and just how the offense has gained knowledge over this offseason, I feel like, I feel really confident in basically everybody on the offense and, how I've seen them progress on and off the field. So, obviously we still got to take it one game at a time, but I like where we're at right now.
What's going to be an improved Kellen Mond? What's that going to look like? I
feel like just with more knowledge of the game, I'll just be more accurate. And, that comes with being more decisive and just confident in my throws. So, sometimes I was a little up and down last year, but I feel like just with more film study and just more knowledge of the offense, which I feel like I've improved in greatly, just comes with more accuracy.
And Jamon said when you're coming to the line of scrimmage now, he kind of put it that last year you might have been gathering information. This time you already got a process of elimination going.
Yeah.
Is that accurate? Or?
Yes, and when you come to the line of scrimmage, you're just kind of eliminating information. So just the more times you do it, the more reps you get, more experience that you get, that becomes a lot easier process. So same thing with me, but everybody else has to do that. And I feel like with the knowledge and the study that we've done this offseason, we've improved greatly.
What about the clock in your head about whether to get out and run or throw it away? How's that improved, or
yeah, I feel
how
like
more comfortable are you to take off when you think you need to?
Yeah, I feel like that's something I've improved on a lot over this fall camp, and just having that timer in my head and trying to get the ball out a little bit quicker. So I felt like sometimes last year I could hold the ball a little bit too long in the pocket. So just whether it's me getting outside the pocket and throwing it away, or scrambling and trying to make a play, but just trying to eliminate some of those negative plays.
During your recruitment, did you ever have any interaction with Jake Babb at all when he was the OC here?
I did when I when I first came to visit A&M, and that was one with him and Sumlin that my first offer, or not my first offer, but he was the one who offered me from A&M the first time. So,
what was it like interacting with him?
He was a cool guy. I felt like I would have been good in his offense, and so obviously I have respect for him and for me to commit to him, but definitely have much respect for him.
Do you know anything about their offensive coordinator? You being an offensive guy, he's like the one who created the jet fly sweep that is so common now.
I actually do not.
Yeah, he's a really cool story.
Yeah.
Fisher talks a lot about how hard he is on you. Do you think that kind of tough love helps you when you're trying to improve and develop and just get better?
It does, and it's something that's so consistent. So I see the consistency and the passion that he has for the game. So I know every single practice he's going to constantly push me, want me to improve myself, and the same thing for me. I want the best for myself. So I'm really high on myself, but I'm also my biggest self-critic. So the kind of love and push that he has for me is going to help me go a long way.
Do you see any similarities in Jimbo and your dad and the way the way they have talked to you over the years?
Yeah, maybe not the way they talk to me, but just kind of the discipline part of it. Something that's really big in football and in life. So just something that's kind of pushed me, and when I was young, just having that type of confidence and the type of poise that I do, something that kind of both my dad and Coach Fisher kind of preach.
Does anything change that it's game week, or you try to keep the same mentality as a team, Kellen?
Just pretty much try to stay as consistent as possible, no matter what team it is, what week it is. In fall camp, I'm still up there watching film, and during the season I'm still going to be doing the same thing. So just try to be as consistent as possible, and I feel like that always helps with my preparation.
Is there any talk about this being a possible trap game, Kellen, or is coach and the team approaching it like Clemson, any other big-time opponent?
For at least for me, and kind of the way I prepare, and the way I want to, let everybody know, it doesn't matter what team you're playing, you should be preparing like it's, you're playing an NFL team. So, I wouldn't take this game off lightly.
But can you really learn anything when you're going up about your team, when you're going up against a lesser opponent like that?
Yeah, you can, and just kind of the focus that you have in practice and the intensity, the energy that you have in practice. I feel like if we're up to par on that, the whole entire week we should go out and have a really good game against Texas State.
Can you make a statement against the Texas State as a team?
I feel like you can make a statement against any team, and some teams you're not going to blow out, a lot of SEC teams, you're not going to just go in there and just blow out people. But, we have a goal. We want to go out there and execute. We want to be the best that we can be. So that's kind of our mindset going into any game.
A couple of your fellow offensive players have said you guys have been studying Texas Tech a little bit since their former defensive coordinators now at Texas State. So what do you see from the kind of defense that he likes to run?
A lot of Okie front defense. Can be not necessarily confusing at times, but they could try to mix some stuff up. But I feel like in the passing game we could mix a lot of our concepts up, and probably won't go in there with such a huge game plan, but just a lot of our base stuff and stuff that we really feel comfortable with, and help us execute.
Now, Tech tried to put a lot of pressure and do a lot of line stunts. Is that what you're meaning by Okie front?
No, that's a certain type of front, but I do expect certain teams like that. I expect them to bring pressure a lot and maybe twist a little bit, but just see what type of things that they could try to rattle us. But I feel like the coaches and a lot of people upstairs do a really good job of preparing us, so I feel really confident.
You mentioned earlier that you could see yourself fitting well into Spavital's offense. What aspects of his offense that would work well for you?
I just kind of saw, the type of guys he recruited and got to A&M, and, I saw kind of similarities in kind of our gameplay, and, that's kind of one of the reasons I was kind of interested for so long in A&M.
What do you talk about? Go ahead, Chris.
What do you think the possibilities are for this team this year?
It's kind of one of the things I always say. It's kind of in our hands. We feel. I told our team the other day, if we go up against, any team in the country, I feel confident in pretty much every personnel, quarterback, receiver, just pretty much down the line. So I feel like, if we do what we have to do, if we prepare the right way, and don't take any week lightly, I feel like we could be a great team.
Can you talk a little bit about that receiver core, the relationship you've got with them after, one season with most of these guys?
Yeah, it's phenomenal, and just one thing that I appreciate them a lot about is, they kind of realize what type of receiver core that they can be, and, the work that they put in this offseason has, been tremendous. So just seeing how much they've improved, and, I've always taken a big thing when people realize their flaws, and, Jamon and Q just realizing what type of flaws that they have and seeing how they can improve that, just a really big thing.
It seemed like each one of them has kind of a different skill set.
Yeah. Q is really quick, elusive, really good route runner. Jamon, a lot of people see him as a possessive receiver, and I feel like him losing his way, he's a lot more quick twitch now. So, and then Kendrick, being not a great route runner, but he definitely can get open and has phenomenal hands. So I feel like just all those having different combinations and different playing styles is really good for me.
What about